Steve, tonight, maybe it's just one sample size, but the Rockets starting lineup had a lot of success when you guys played your starting lineup. Things changed in the end, but I think their starting lineup outscored your starting lineup by maybe around double-digit points. Is that something that you'll spend, like you think you would spend more time thinking about going into the next game, or you actually look at the way this game ended as being much more important and encouraging for you guys going forward?
I don't care how many points the starting lineup scores or the bench. I just care how many we score versus how many they score. That's the only thing that matters. So I think both teams are doing what they're doing, and nothing's really happened yet. It's 2-2. Each team has won 2 home games, so this is kind of how the playoffs go, especially when you got 2 great teams playing against each other. So we just got to be a little bit better, and we'll regroup and go home and try to take care of business there.
Steve, you talked about force yesterday. Would you imagine that's another theme of this game? And if so, are you disappointed when you emphasize this to your players and maybe Houston came a little bit stronger than them tonight?
I thought we played plenty hard enough, but I think force has to be accompanied by poise, and felt like we were in a rush offensively all night. We're at our best when we got a bunch of playmakers out there and the ball's moving, and we're attacking, but with the idea that we're going to get great shots. And I didn't think we got great shots for much of the night. I thought we were just in a rush to create pace, which the pace is good, but we've got to get better shots, and we're definitely capable of that. We got to be more poised, and that has to be a focus.
Coach, Steph was Steph was more aggressive tonight, but he still missed 10 3-pointers, and Clay also was struggling from the 3-point line. Is it? Do you think it is the Rockets' defense, or are they just having some trouble getting going?
I'm just going to revert to what I just said. When you're not poised and you're taking quick shots and you're not searching for great shots, then you're not going to shoot the ball as well. So they both had some good ones, but they both had plenty of forced shots. And so we were in a rush, and that got us a little out of sorts. And we made an amazing comeback, and our guys were fantastic, fighting to get back into the game, had a chance to tie it at the end. But again, for 48 minutes, I didn't feel like we executed very well in terms of keeping our poise and trying to get great looks.
Do you think that the isolation nature of the offense in the series with all the switching is impacting Clay's game at all? And is there any way to get him going considering that style?
If we show poise and patience and look to go from quick shots to great shots, then it'll help everybody, including Clay. I'm going to keep repeating the same thing. So come up with a different question, please.
I'll ask you about something a little different. When they play Tucker at the 5 and 4 guards, what challenges do those lineups present you guys?
Well, it puts one more three-point shooter on the floor, and they did that more tonight than they have in the first few games. And obviously, it's a challenge to guard the three-point line when they've got 5 of those guys out there, and they took 50 of them tonight. And that's how they play, and so you've got to be disciplined, and you've got to keep playing when they do make some, with the idea that you stay in the game, you keep playing, you keep putting pressure on them, and there's going to be plenty of opportunities to make a push and make a run. Again, as long as you stay focused and continue to grind away. But I thought they were great. They played really hard. They had their crowd behind them, and again, they did what they had to do. Winning their 2 home games.
Steve, you've been dealing with Harden since 2015. Is this the most aggressive you've seen him be, the most efficient?
He's always been pretty good. I don't, it's hard for me to look back and compare from one year to the next because, last year he was the MVP in 7-game series. He's tough to handle. Obviously, he's a great player and has a lot of ways to score and get to the rim, and so we've just got to stay with it. But I think we've done this plenty of times, so we know what we have to do.
Steve, to your left. It seemed like in the fourth quarter, after makes, Draymond was really pushing on the in transition, even after they hit a three or something. So is that something you emphasize in the timeout?
Yeah, I mean, we like to play with that pace. Obviously, the Rockets play a much slower pace than we do, so it's important that we continue to push the ball, and Draymond did a really good job of that tonight.
Hey, Steve, slightly to your left. You've talked about intensity and you used the word force, and I assume a lot of that is just a mental approach. But how hard is it simply to match their physicality just with the way a lot of guys are physically built on that Rockets team?
Yeah, they got a lot of middle linebackers on that team. They're sturdy, and we look like more like volleyball players, long and lean. But we've done this many times before, and we've played all kinds of different teams, and everybody tries to be physical with us, and because they should. That's the best way to try to beat us. And so Houston's very physical. They're very good. But I'll go back to it again. We know what we have to do.
Andre Iguodala played tonight.
Andre's always great. One of the smartest players I've ever been around, and we ask a lot of him in terms of guarding James and Chris, and so he wasn't his best game, but he always makes a big impact.
Steve, right here in front. You talk about the pace of play that you guys play compared to the Rockets, and then you talk about rushing shots on the offensive side. Is that something you picked up on extremely early tonight, or you just saw it more through the course of the second quarter into the third quarter?
No, we picked up on it early, and talked about it throughout the game.
Steve, to your left. Houston have played you guys as tough as anyone in the last couple of years. Great series last year. This one's very compelling too. Obviously, your main focus is to win, but are you enjoying this battle, your tactical battle with Mike, seeing your guys compete with their guys?
I love this. I do. This is, you kidding me? To be able to coach basketball in the NBA and the greatest players in the world, and to be part of this competition, it's amazing. So much fun. All right.
Coach Logan Murdoch, NBC Sports Bay Area. 2 questions. One, you guys were out rebounded for the second straight game. How do you kind of get whatever you guys had in the first 2 games as far as the rebounding margin?
Some of it is technique, and when they've got to spread out with 5 shooters, there's a lot of long rebounds, so we're not going to get all of them. But some of it is technique and awareness, and finding the guys who are crashing and anticipating long rebounds because of the number of 3-point shots that they take.
And the second question, it seems like it's been a theme all season. Like you guys are of the Warriors of old, and you guys are kind of running on all cylinders, but then you guys hit a hurdle. It seemed like it was like that in the first round as well. And how do you overcome whatever it is to kind of get that knockout blow against the team when you guys are up at a certain point in time?
This is what it's about. This is the NBA playoffs, the best teams in the league, and we're playing a great team, and we know what the game plan is, and we know how good they are. So it's just about competition. That's it. Thanks, everybody.